What's happening, everybody? Today we are rolling down to San Diego. We're going to link up with Billy Jean, and his tagline is Billy Jean is marketing. If you haven't followed his stuff or don't know his YouTube channel and his massive marketing agency, go check him out. Billy Jean's the real deal. He's helping a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of businesses really scale and grow with their Instagram, their Facebook, and their YouTube channels. We're going to go spend some time with him, chop it up, see his office. He's going to be on the show, and we are going to get after it. Stay tuned. San Diego, here we come. Value. We're going to talk about branding. We're going to talk about marketing. We're going to talk about like the climate of Facebook and Instagram. Cool. And we're also going to talk about how your life shifted when you became a dad. We talked a lot about like, right? Like,
that was a curveball.
For sure, right? And like being a good parent and what that looks like in this crazy world of entrepreneurship. Yeah. So we talk about all that shit. What's happening, everybody? Today we are in beautiful San Diego, and the gentleman sitting across from me claims it is the greatest city in
No, those are facts, yo.
the world.
Those are facts.
The facts are here. He's actually repping a San Diego Chargers jersey right now. You guys can't see unless you're watching this on YouTube. But I want to introduce you guys to the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Marketing himself, Billy Jean.
What's up, y'all? Thank you for having me, brother.
Thank you so much for fitting this into your schedule. You guys don't know this, but this guy has a ridiculous schedule right now. He's fitting us in. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for coming here. I feel honored to be here.
For sure. Thank you. So we're just going to jump straight into it. So in your opinion, which are also facts, by the way.
I was going to say, which are always right.
Which are always 100% accurate.
Yeah, 13% of the time, yeah.
This entire market has changed. The digital landscape has changed forever. It has clearly changed your life, which is amazing.
For sure.
And if you're a new entrepreneur, a seasoned entrepreneur, or somebody who owns, like a Fortune 500 company, how do they need to get their heads around what's happening? Because I see it, I'm in the space deep, but people are still have their head in the sand, man.
It's funny because like everything has changed, but like everything is exactly the same at the same time, right? Meaning the fundamentals of business have not changed. The fundamentals of business is people buy when they know, like, and trust you.
Trust, 100%.
Right? Now, what's happening is right now, because there's so much transparency and people can log into your Facebook and see what you've been doing for the last decade, and they can stalk you. So now the trust part is harder. The trust part is different. And also, too, what people believe makes someone trust them that's the biggest shift. People like, when there was just TV and radio and shit and there wasn't all this transparency, what made you credible was like having a big billboard or being on radio, being television. Now where Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube are the new radio and anybody can have a voice, people think that what makes them credible is like taking a fucking picture in front of a private jet or a fucking car that's not theirs. And it's not. What makes you credible is just telling the truth about your situation and keeping it real and sharing your opinion, even if you don't think it's going to be popular, and being fucking honest. And so like, to me, you can go on Facebook right now, you're going to see 1,000 ads. And I'll ask you one question. Everybody, like, go through your Facebook right now, pause this and do this, and see how many people are actually selling themselves and how many people are just focused on their product or service. Because, again, people buy when they know, like, and trust you, but all the focus on ads is about, like, the thing. And people forget, like, people want to do image ads. You don't even want to show your face. Like, people come in the real estate industry and they want to use stock fucking footage, a stock video. They're not even in it. I'm like, when people do work with you, why do they work with you? They're like, well, because they just like me. We get along. You're not even in the fucking video.
Does this sound familiar? Like, see, I did not prep him. No. I did not tell him to say this. If you go listen to like 90% of my shows, what you just said, I smash into my audience face.
They're facts. They're facts.
The first thing I do when I sit down with a new person that's like doing whatever with me, or doing something with real estate or something to do with like mentorship or something, I go, give me your Instagram feed. If I look and everything is a perfect house, a perfect kitchen, I go, I don't know anything about you. Go, life and business, to your point, is a people sport. This will always be a people sport.
100%.
The digital space has made it better, but it's also starting to push out some of the posers. Like, trust in market is everything. I push it really, really hard.
It's brand.
It's brand. It's just brand. If you just tell your truth over and over and over again, that's how it works. This is not rocket science, but you have to do it. And I think people have a hard time getting out of their way and not being themselves and owning themselves. Like, that was the thing for me.
Well, it's fear, right? Like
100%.
And it's not like I'm immune to this. I'm sure you felt the same way. But like when I first started my ads agency, I had this something to believe because I dropped out from the University of San Diego. I didn't finish my last class, so I was not a college, grad. In addition to that, me being African American, I was 23, living at my parents' house. I knew this Facebook stuff because I was doing it, but like I had a huge limiting belief that because of all of the things I just said, that my ideal customer, who was a 45-year-old white guy with kids, would never do business with me. And like, it was not just a belief, dude. It was paralyzing. I just thought that's what it was. And then what happens is you get the first win. You get the person who does look like that gives you cash and realize they care more about green than they do black, white, or anything else. And you start to pick that up and you're like, holy shit, like, okay, I can do this. And you get that first micro win, then you do it again, then you do it again. Now you fast forward here 8 years later and you're like, I got this shit. I don't care what you look like. I got you. Like, I can help you and I can do this and I can sit in the same room and you get this confidence, but it's from the results.
And you deserve to be there. And I want you guys to hear one thing he just blazed by real quick. 8 years. You guys are seeing Billy popping right now. He has had his head down, grinding, building this thing for
a lot of people don't realize that.
8 years. Now, there was so many great points there. That's the thing, is I had the same struggles. And I'm a 42-year-old white dude, right? But like, I had this thing in my head that because I didn't graduate college, because I have all these tattoos, I'm in the real estate space of all these investors, big investors are not going to respect me. So every day was like suit. Every day was buttoned up to look apart, right? For years. And then I told the story a lot. One day, our top investor comes in, right? Top guy. We do like 28 million with him a year. Literally like stuffy old white guy, right? And I thought for sure he would never really do business with me, right? And every day at lunch, I would run over to Seal Beach with my shirt off and trunks. I'm covered in tattoos, and then run back. And he comes into the meeting. I'm all suited up again. I just got back from my run, showered, I'm good. And I come to the meeting, he goes, Andy, you're not going to believe this. There was this guy when I was driving over here running. He looked exactly like you, but he's covered in tattoos. And I go, that was me.
Like, not me.
And then I literally rolled my sleeves up, and here was his answer. Cool. It shattered like 15 years of belief systems right there. I knew I deserved to be in the room because of what was upstairs.
Exactly.
And because of what I brought to the table. And I worked my face off.
And real quick, like, people, the only way that you have those moments is by trying. Like
100%.
you have to experiment, right? Like, if I just let that belief stop me from actually taking action, if you let that belief stop you from taking action, then you would have never been able to shatter it. And so it's kind of like is it the chicken or the egg? You got to just go out and do shit. Like, you have to go experiment and like test against your beliefs.
You have to. And fear is real. Like, I still struggle with it. I go through it, but I become more of like a fear hunter now, where like, I'm just going to do it. I don't care. Like, I was raised super poor. We had nothing. I was already in like the struggle side. So I got used to it. And it was really easy for me. Either I was going to figure it out or that was it.
Or not.
That was it.
Let's figure it out.
So for me, it was this shift. And after that shift happened, more shifts started to happen. And I've been following your journey, and it's cool because it's fun to tell the story. Like, it's amazing to tell the story. And I actually saw the piece where you got your last car and you drove back to your parents' house, and you weren't there to document that during it, but you went back and told the story. And that brought me right up to speed. So I love the way that you tell the story. The story is so important, because that's where the trust factor comes in. If I'm sitting there and telling you I'm an amazing dad,
people want to buy from humans, man. People want to buy from humans, and people love, like, look, you know when people are the most reserved? When they feel like someone has all their shit together. So, for example, if we just met each other at a bar and we're sitting next to each other and I had a really bad day and I'm hearing about your life and everything is perfect, what are my chances of being able to open up to you?
0.
But if you come in and you're like, dog, I had the worst fucking day ever. My girl left me. I did some stupid shit. I'm like, bro, don't even worry about it. I also had that happen. Da-da-da-da-da. And we start connecting. That's the same thing with the relationship with your audience. Like, you have to realize that, like, the honesty, that's the shit that brings you together.
Being humble and then wildly vulnerable is a massive superpower.
And honest too, you realize like it's almost backwards. Like when you're vulnerable, like everything goes right. You get more people following you, you get more sales, you build more relationships, more opportunities. So it's almost like now like being vulnerable is like really like kind of easy. Like because you get
it's the truth.
You get like your pat on the back for it now, you know? It's like people will write these deep ass emotional posts on like Facebook. I'm gonna tell you about an experience I've never opened up before. It's like, dude, it's your most liked shit. Shut the fuck up. Like you're getting love now for your vulnerability. So like own that.
Own who you are. And that's why I literally, as soon as I saw your stuff, and I'm like, he's somebody who I can fuck with because you own who you are.
Yeah.
And
like it
or not, hey,
but like this is me.
And that's what we were talking about. And it's the same thing. And this is going to segue right into the next question.
Okay.
So there was some stuff that happened, I don't know, it was a week ago or 2 weeks ago with you and Gary, and some stuff on the internet. Yeah. And you were doing something with Russell Brunson, and you guys were talking about like the difference between Grant Cardone and Gary Vee. Two very different ways of selling, both selling their faces off. Right. One feels a little more like this is what you get. The other one feels a little more sleight of hand.
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
Like, I mean, to me, it's like, look, I've learned a ton from both of those guys.
Me too.
I've learned in ways of like what to do, and I've also learned shit like what not to do. I'm sure people can say the same thing when they follow my story. 100%. You know, like Grant's thing, like exactly like at 10X, like, you know, amazing production. Getting 30,000 people in a stadium is in a shortest time. I think it's been like 3 years since the event was conceived. That is, I don't think me on the marketing side, I understand that is one of the most difficult things that any human being can do, and they pulled it off. Dude, what you can learn from them making that happen is fucking remarkable.
And how they go after their clients. Dude, and the sponsorships.
Everyone should be fucking taking pins and notes out, and as I do.
Agreed.
Then the other side to learn from it is like, for me personally, like I'm not having everybody pitch at my fucking event.
Me either.
Because I just think that's going to piss people off, and I don't feel fucking good about that. That's
and
not me.
And it's a shelf life, I think, right?
It's just ridiculous. It's like, yo, like, come on, man. Like, fuck. Like, I'm not, I just pay. Because here's the thing. And you'll relate to it because you said you came from not having cash.
Nothing. Right.
When I didn't have cash, if I took my last grand to go to a place and I had 10 fucking people try and sell me some more, I'm livid. I'm a snap. Exactly.
Dude, I'm the same way.
Like for me, like I think that's why, but like it's not my event. Who cares what I think? It's not my event.
Agreed.
Right? Like it's not my thing. And then Gary's thing is like learned a ton from him. The thing that he just pissed me off about before was just like, bro, stop trying to act like you're not the guy who sells when you sell. Like, to me, that's just being in integrity. Like, if you're selling, like, I've given you money. I've given you tens of thousands of dollars. Like, you sell.
You sell.
What are you talking about? Shut up. And the thing is like, I'm the cleanup crew. You got to remember, like, my whole company exists to help small businesses. My agency doesn't work with the Fortune 100 or 500. I deal with the people who are like, yo, I need to make this work because if I don't, I'm going to lose
I'm out of business.
I'm going to lose my house.
That's right.
And then they'll hit me and they'll be like, well, you know, Gary says like I should just like jab all the time and not sell. I'm like, you're going to not sell yourself into fucking eviction.
That's right.
Like, get over it. So like, I'm the cleanup crew. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm the one who's in the streets, like educating people, helping them, building with them, and like, yo, like so I get mad at misinformation and like leading people the wrong way. But you know, is what it is. Like, I think you need a Gary. Again, I've learned a ton from him. I've been motivated by him. I think you need a Grant. People need to learn that like you need to fucking go all in on your cause and be fucking extreme and like be the loudest in the room. You need a fucking Billie Jean. Like, I pride myself on being like a tactician and keeping it real and related. Look what I'm wearing right now. I got a jersey on and sweatpants.
And some
flip-flops and some fucking sliders, some Nike sliders. And I'm mostly in basketball shorts. Like, why do I wear that? Because that's how I dress. And in addition to that, I don't want someone to see me and be like, oh shit, like I have to wear a suit to like be successful. I want someone to see me and be like, yo, he's got the same outfit as me on right now.
He's a regular dude.
Exactly.
And this is the greatest compliment I could ever give anybody. And we literally roll around in like the same group of people, and there's some friends that we have in common. Yeah. And some of them aren't the same as soon as the cameras turn off. No. And some of them are the exact same.
Correct.
And that's it. You're the real deal, my man.
Thank
and that's
you.
the thing, because you can tell, like, especially if you're in the game and you're in the space, you can tell when someone's a poser or not. And from immediately. And from the stuff that you did with a super good friend of ours, love Ed Milet. I always give him props every time I can.
Shout out to Ed.
Shout out to Ed. Ed's the man. So you were being so tactful on his show. And it showed. Like, I love it when people are in their mastery. They're chasing that mastery level of whatever it is they're doing.
Well, you know what that was on Ed? By the way, that was like the most feedback and reaching out I've ever gotten. My DMs are still blown up from that interview.
For sure.
And I think what it was for me in that moment is it was like, when I meet people like Ed who have accomplished maybe 1,000 times more than me, and I say, fuck, I'm in this room with Ed Milet. I'm chilling
at his house.
At his
house is gorgeous, right?
Motherfucker's mansion and shit. Like, I'm like, where do I fit in this? And it was like, oh wait, I'm the how-to guy. Like, put me in any room with anybody, any billionaire. Like, my job, my role, being the top of my class in this, I'm still needed. And so I need to go.
Problem solving at scale.
Yeah, and so I'm like, I need to go all in on what I know, which is like that stuff. And so like just really owning and understanding like this is how I provide value, and knowing too as our company grows, a lot of people will step away from, like, I'm a CEO, but I'm super hands-on with the CMO, sales, everything. Like, I want to be 75 and still just as much in the trenches, or at least just as knowledgeable on the execution. Like, I don't want to outgrow my company where I'm just like president and making shots. At least I don't have the desire right now. Like, I always want to come in the room and be like, oh, I got that new virtual reality shit. Oh, teleportation? I know that though.
And be relevant in the space, because the space changes so fast.
Exactly.
You have to be up on your game.
Yeah.
And
so I'm a student, man. I stay studied up.
I'm the same way, especially with like the space of real estate and marketing, and like these things feed each other. But the real estate market changes constantly.
Yeah.
And we're in a little bit of a slip right now. So there's a huge opportunities, and the digital space lines up perfectly with real estate and personal branding.
Yeah.
It's a massive, massive thing. So let's go into a little more of what you actually do for all these listeners. This guy crushes Facebook, crushes YouTube, and crushes Instagram. He's got his show, Fix My Ad. Is that one of them?
Billy Fix My Ads.
Billy Fix My Ads. And it's him literally dissecting and giving you real-time stuff you can go to your ads and fix for free.
Yeah, 100%. It's on our YouTube channel. Go look at it right now. Got like 1,000 videos between Facebook and YouTube.
It's this value and this content where if you're new and every penny matters for your business,
yes,
and maybe you can't afford 30, 40, 50 grand yet each month to be dropping this stuff, you can learn the tools from following Billy.
Well, dude, like, and I'll be specific, right? What people have to understand is right now, what you don't know will put you out of business.
100%.
And I want that to sink in for everybody listening. What you don't know will put you out of business. So, for example, business is the most competitive sport in the world. Yep. And if you're a real estate agent right now and you're not up on game with YouTube, and somebody else discovers that for $10 a day, that their ads can be seen 30,000 times a month in a specific zip code.
In a zip code.
And they spent $300 for the month. And while you were bitching like, well, I don't have the cash and I don't have this advantage, and they're studying up and they're practicing and they're taking shots.
And they're 23.
And they're 23. And then you're just like, what do they really know? They're 23. Oh, they're taking action while you're making excuses about technology.
I did not prep about the zip codes either. I talk a ton about zip code target marketing.
Oh my God. Like it's I get so excited when I talk about, I've spoken at a lot of real estate conferences. I get so excited when I talk about, I always leave and go, should I get my license? Should I get my license just to fucking film it and show people like I'll be the number one in your thing, and I'm not going to do nothing crazy. I'm just going to put up.
That's what I do, but I tell everybody to go get their license, even if you use it only once to buy your house, because you'll get all that commission. If you buy a $2 million house, you're going to get 70 grand.
I'm going to get my fucking license.
It costs $300 to go get your license. Go get your license.
Yeah.
You can do it all online. I'm telling you. So like, and there are hustlers out there right now, and I tell these people, they're like, that stuff will never work. You're wrong. There's a 28-year-old I just talked to yesterday. He's got I think he's got 12 units. He's been hustling for like 6 years. He's got almost $2 million in equity. Ooh. You think he's stopping? No.
And like
they're going to take all you old folks out.
And this is the thing is they keep saying like that stuff is going to go away. Like it just
like
shows
the TV and the radio.
I'm just like, dude, you guys just don't understand like what social media is. So like I want to rework everyone's brain. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, they are nothing more than digital billboards.
That's right.
They give you the ability to put a message in front of anyone else in the world, and that is it. So for you to say Facebook or Instagram or YouTube doesn't work means communication doesn't work. It's like a logical thought. Mm-hmm. It's like if Facebook just allows me to put a message in front of somebody, if it's not working, it's not Facebook, it's you.
You're broken.
It's a user error.
100%.
Like, and once you own that accountability and you take into account a core value we have in our company, everything is my fault, then you can start to fucking make changes.
100%. And there's there's so much that goes into that. Now, okay, just real quick, if you were a brand new real estate professional,
yes,
you had $5,000 and
okay,
you're gonna do something with it. You just got your license, you're freaked out, you don't know what to do, you've never sold a thing. How would you roll out something for everybody to know who you are and how to get more business?
Okay, first of all, you gave me too much money.
Okay.
I don't need that much money.
Okay.
You can give me like a few $100, but I'll take the 5Gs.
Cool.
Thanks.
Smart man. Business.
So first thing I'm going to do, have you said never sold a house before?
Yeah, this person's brand new. They just got their license.
Okay.
They just signed up for like Coldwell Banker, and they're trying to get their feet wet in real estate.
The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the most successful person in that branch, very first thing, and I'm going to say, bro, I got fucking 4Gs. I'm telling you, got 5. They're taking it. I tell them, no, I say, hey, I have $5,000. I want to give half to you, to give you all this, to help me understand why you're successful, to give me your sales scripts, like everything that you have going on, whatever your secret mojo is, your training, to go
find somebody who's actually done it.
And say, hey, like, dude, can you, or lady dude, like, can you watch over me on my first few deals while I get there and really have my back? And in addition to that, while I'm advertising, do you mind making a feature in my advertising? The other $2,500 I'm gonna put in ads. Do you mind being in there with them? So now I have borrowed association credibility,
exactly.
right? And they're like, yeah, well, hell yeah, you're gonna pay $2,500 to me and $2,500 to put in my ads. And then I say, cool, what are the best zip codes to actually advertise in? They're going to give me those. I'm going to upload the fuck out of those into like Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I'm going to create a short video ad. I'm going to focus on a specific market, probably first-time home buyers. And then I'm going to study like crazy. Before I sell a house, I am going to study, and I'm going to master understanding the process of actually how to get first-time home buyers. That's not going to cost me any money. There's probably all kinds of resources to do it. Coldwell Banker will probably provide me with it.
Of course.
This is an important part of the step, because a lot of people, and you only see this in entrepreneurship. But if we were going to be open heart surgeons right now today, would we even think about doing open heart surgery before like a decade of schooling and practice?
Not a chance on earth.
So why in entrepreneurship do we just go out and like just start selling? And then they go, well, like, people won't work with me as an agent because I don't have any experience and I don't know anything. Yeah, they shouldn't. You don't know anything.
You don't have any chops yet.
So I'm going to fucking learn. I'm going to be a student. I'm going to study. And then once I feel comfortable that I can genuinely help people and I am in their best interest, now only then, so I'm probably not going to do it right away, only then am I going to go into advertising. I'm going to make my Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube ad. And I'm going to take out a blank piece of paper. I'm going to draw a giant capitalized T. On the left side, I'm going to put problem. On the right side, I'm going to put solution. I'm going to ask myself, everybody who's a first-time home buyer in these zip codes, what are the top 10 problems that they're facing? Okay, they're wondering about down payment. They're wondering about credit. They're wondering about, like, what's my monthly payment going to be? They're wondering about safety. They're wondering about schools. They just got newly engaged. I'm going to take all these problems, probably go up to like 30 of them, and I'm going to make a 2 to 5 minute video giving the answers to every single one of these. I'm going to post them. Whichever one gets the most engagement, I'm then going to turn into a video ad on YouTube.
That's called testing.
And at the end of those videos, I'm just simply going to say, send me a text message if you like me. It's going to sound like this. So, hey, I hope you like, hey, I hope this video was helpful and now you understand how to buy a home in this zip code with almost no down payment. But if you're like most people, then you're also wondering, how do I get a low interest rate, etc. Click this button or text message me now and I'll send you a free guide that answers the answers to these questions. And then once I send them that guide, I'm going to fucking sell them.
There's your warm lead. And then it's coffee, and then you're showing them houses, and now you have a relationship. Back to people sport. You lead with who you are. You digitalize it, so now you have a digital asset. Yeah. No more mailers. Like, they kind of work, but not really.
You don't have to. Yeah. No,
and then you bring them back into your world.
100%. Like the mailers just come into like a lower part of the funnel, right?
Agreed.
Those people who actually like gave me that text message, once they like get to know me and I've sent them my guide and I send them other stuff on a daily basis to like help them with their house search. Now I may like say, hey, I have something cool that I'd like to actually mail to your house. And then I'm going to mail them something too. But like the process really, listen, you know what business is? It's just 3 steps. Advertise, capture, sell.
That's right.
Advertise, get people to know about you, capture the lead, the name, email, and phone number, and then fucking sell them. People love to overcomplicate it though. Like we love
because when they fail, it's very clear why they failed because there was that problem. It wasn't them. They take no ownership of it. Human beings overcomplicate shit. So when it doesn't work, it's not their fault.
Yep. 100%.
Which is horseshit.
100%.
Now that leads us perfectly into the 3 E's. Walk us through what the 3 E's are and why they're so important.
Entertain, educate, execute. So you have to understand that Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all these mediums that we're talking about today, they make money when people are on their platform. So when you have a video or an ad selling your product or service and it's literally just a straight sales thing, if I come onto Facebook to be entertained and then I see a bunch of sales shit in my newsfeed.
And then you leave.
And then I leave.
Facebook is pissed.
They're pissed because you're costing them a whole bunch of money.
That's right.
And so this is why it's so important. Entertainment is not an option. It's a requirement. Because if your shit is boring and it makes people want to leave, they will punish you. This is when they stop showing your ads. If you ever ran ads before and they stopped showing it, that's why they did it. If your prices all of a sudden went increased, that's why they raised the prices on you because
suck.
your shit sucks. Exactly. So it's very simple. Like the more entertaining you can be, the more they're going to want to show your ad, the lower cost per clicks you're going to get, etc. And then after you have their attention, only after you entertain them, now I've got your attention enough to teach you something that may change your life. And sometimes if you have a physical product, that's just demonstrating to people how the product can help them. If you're teaching about education or coaching, it's just giving them that one lesson and then just a simple call to action.
This should be written down in every notepad you guys have. Pay attention. This is very tactful. Now, what are some things that could help somebody who's an introvert? Someone who does not feel comfortable on camera. I was terrible at first. I get it. We all go through it. But like, what are some hacks and some tricks that might be able to make you stand out?
Yeah, my favorite 3 are props, music, and environment. And so props are just ordering anything that stands out. That'll be a pattern interrupt that people don't typically see. Case in point, I'm talking to you guys on a gold microphone.
Yeah.
Right.
I am not. That's why he looks cooler.
But like little things right there, right? Like they catch your attention. Or like, they're in the studio right now, you see the gold bricks in the recording booth behind me. Like all of that is on purpose. They're props so that when we shoot this podcast, even the scenery looks cool. Like and people are more engaged. So I'm using them right now.
Of course.
Other thing about props is that anybody can use a prop. Like, and when you think about props, just think about oversized images or oversized items. Like if this microphone was like this big and we started out the podcast, you'd be like, that's the biggest microphone
That's funny
I've ever
as
seen.
hell.
And
That's
it would
great.
capture your attention, right?
100%.
So like oversized, really, really small things, micro. Is a great way to do it. And then also music. A couple good resources is audiojungle.net, artlist.io, artlist.io. These are places where you can search for music by emotion. So you can type in the word sad, type in the word mad, type in the word whatever. It'll give you thousands of songs that you can sort by, and you can buy them and legally use them in your videos, and most of them cost $7. Environment, change where you're actually doing your shit. Go somewhere different. Go to Google, type in top 10 most interesting places, and literally just shoot your fucking video there.
Guys, gals, those 3 things have literally changed the way I do marketing.
Oh yeah.
These are not things that might work. These are things that always work.
Dude, you just nailed it. And it's proven and tested. We've done this shit so much. Like it's it.
And here's what I beat into people's skulls. Sometimes the highest converting shit is on your cell phone walking around just being real. You don't have to. Don't let your fear say like, oh, you know what? I'm going to do my first one after I get a camera. Or I'm going to get a lighting rig. Or I'm going to get a podcasting studio. Just start. What was your highest converting one that was not produced, like full produced?
Either this or Paul over here just holding a camera and just walking and talking. It's almost always like the other ones, the highly produced ones are better for branding,
for sure,
and such.
Because that's going to get people to remember you forever.
But to get action, like, dude, you guys just do this. And by the way, just on our personal brand alone, last month we spent $500,000 on these platforms. So like we've tested so much shit, like, and still, even with all of that, it's still this shooting a video on a cell phone and talking to people.
From the man himself.
Because people like real.
And they can do it, and they can relate to that because they've seen themselves in that same place.
Exactly.
So, and that's the thing.
Well, sometimes like it's an anti-trust. Remember, the only thing you're selling online is trust, right? Because if people really believed what you were saying, they'd buy your product or service every time. So what happens is when people have like these highly produced videos, it seems like, why is that person trying so hard to like convince me of something? Da-da-da, and their guard goes up. When someone just pulls up their cell phone, it makes it feel more natural, organic, unfiltered, unpolished, unscripted, and that's when people's guards down. When some like even look at like politics, like when someone's reading from a teleprompter, you automatically go, they're reading, I don't trust them.
100%.
Same thing.
I get it. You have an insanely busy day. Thank you so much for taking some time out for us. Where can everybody find you, man? Like, where can they just find you and all your platforms? And if you have a business and need some help, look this man up.
Yeah, Billy Gene is marketing, Gene. Billy Gene is marketing. Honestly, guys, like, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Like on Instagram, I'm really active as of late. Like I'm on there all the time. But for those of you that like every single week on Tuesdays, I teach live about shit you can't learn in school. Go to trythegenepool.com. GENE.
Do not blow it and not do this shit.
Yeah.
Again, my man, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for having me, brother.
You guys will be seeing more of him. Everything is dropping very soon. Have an incredible, incredible day.
Woo!